Racing. The 27th of this month, as y'all been following me and been waiting patiently, and thank you for your patience, because this has been a 3-year journey for me to get these heads massaged, to get them on. We've been delayed really by the MT82 build, the Caliber Stage 3, which was a sucky 2 years for me. That took a shit. We went to a Tremec. These were all delays on getting these heads and cams on. So what we're doing and what we've done different is we've massaged the bowls of these Boss 302 heads. We've cleaned them up. We increased our airflow 15 to 20 CFM, a lot in the mid-range, and the peak CFM at 500 inch lift was 310. Now we are 323. Again, these are stock Boss valves. I stayed with stock Boss springs. We're keeping it at 7,900 or below. We're not over revving this thing. We're keeping it where we're respecting the integrity of this car, and we're trying to make 570, 580 horsepower or more if we can on a all Boss build using these heads that are going on the Boss racing cams, and then we're just making some hardware improvements. We're adding new, of course, when you do this, guys, when you switch your cams, we got new Boss cam filters. Why our variable timing is basically controlled by the oil pressure. We want to make sure those filters are clean. That's why you want to make sure you keep your oil changed on these things. You start getting debris in there, you could start screwing up things with that 50-degree variable timing that we have on these cars. But we have a improved crank gear. It's 5 times stronger. That is a Ford racing part. We also have new primary and secondary chains, new valve lashers, of course, new head bolts, all the hardware. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, the oil pump gears, MMR oil pump gears, we're putting those on so we can rev freely and not be worrying about staying on that rev limiter and hurting our gears. Not that we do that, but it's just extra protection. We have the MMR crossover cooling tubes. This will keep the engine more stable at hotter temperatures, where number 8 cylinder is known to lean out. So we have a cross tube from cylinder number 4 to make sure cylinder number 8 is getting adequately cooled. And pretty much I think that's it. Other than going back in with a tune, we are going to load the Boss track key on this and then tune over that. So hopefully that all works out. But this is the last time we're going to see and feel this car as it is today. And I got some of my previous videos, and you can watch, you know, the pulls. We got a best 0 to 60 in the street at a 4.32. Our best, I'm going to call it our best street ET was 1242. Yes, not so great, but it is what it is. Our gears are much taller in this Tremec Trans, which is the 297 first, and we have the 373 we were in. So we will be moving later to a shorter or lower gear to a 410, which I already have. I've had in the car when I first got it. We took them back out, but now it looks like we need them. But we're gonna wait for that and see how the car goes with the upgrade. We should be looking at around 40 crank horsepower. So where we're sitting today on the 93 tune, we just got dynoed back with horsepower loss with the Calumet, and I don't know if that was a normal thing for the Calumet or if it was a result of the two bad worn gears that this Stage 3 ended up having, which were bad from the start. So yeah, I don't know. Either or, it doesn't matter. The transmission's gone. I will never go back to a Calumet build or MT82, period. But now we're working with the Tremec 2.97 first gear, and hopefully this is gonna pan out good for us. So far been happy with the trans. It's been working great. I love it. It's smooth. Yeah, it's been a great move going to this transmission. But yeah, this is it, man. This is the last day. It's a perfect 60-degree day for us. We're mid-November, and this build is going to happen on the 27th. So this will be exciting. It's going to be exciting, a bit nerve-wracking, just because we went through a lot, and I owe you guys a learnings on this whole journey, because it's been a long one. It's been a good learning for a lot of parts, and we're still learning. However, we're gonna walk into next year, guys. We're gonna walk in next year with a car ready to run. We are gonna plan some good shit with this thing. We're gonna hit the track. It's going to be ready. Finally, it's going to be ready. The only thing I need is my permission slips from my wife. But we'll get that worked out. I always gotta throw that in there. So anyways, all should be good, but yes, I'm looking forward to a good year. Once we get this build completed, of course we gotta get it tuned again, and we'll get that back on. I just don't know if I need to be in those lower gears, because we ran out of more or less, we topped it off at 7,000 RPM, and I didn't build any more horsepower after 6,400 RPM.
That's what I mean. That was 4th gear. I lifted at 7,000. Because I'm like, yeah, this is way too low. I was 150 mile an hour. 432. Okay, this is what WCF is a weather correction factor. So because it's like 50 degrees in here right now, it's a little better. So this is what it made it minus the weather correction factor. And that's the torque number right there.
Because these gears are just too long. I don't know if it's going to make a difference with the 410. Of course, it's going to be able to allow me to spin the car. And I got some vids on that. We'll show you that and see what it made before. Yeah, I laid over the other one. Looks like she's right on.
So guys, let's take a look at these graphs. So first of all, I want to share with you guys our stock, and sorry for the shadow, our stock pull, the way the car was, 93 octane, was 417 to rear wheels, 339. I'm going to suspect, and I don't know this for sure, we don't have a control number. So that is our control number after long tube headers, light and flywheel, one-piece drive shaft, and 20-inch wheels and tires. And this is with a JLT2 intake on a 93 tune with an 85 BBK 85 millimeter throttle body. Our torque was 339. So let's look at the numbers. Now, you can see those lines. The dotted is a control number. The red, of course, is horsepower. The blue dotted is torque. The second dyno, we got 449 horsepower and 373 foot-pounds of torque. Look at the difference the ported intake made. And this was on E85. So we got 337 horsepower, 358 and torque. And that's after the port. So that was about a 20 horsepower increase. Yeah. Look at the torque numbers. You got 2,600 after the port, probably 3,600 before the port. And look how that curve just jumps up, man. And boom, it gets there. This is when I start having a lot of traction problems right here. And of course, coupled to that 410 rear gear. And then it smooths out quite nicely. It stays pretty steady. It peaks right around 5,300 RPM. And then it just slowly starts to come off. Look at the horsepower where it's coming on. You're coming on down low. So this car, this port actually made a significant improvement, I'll be honest with you. So it's coming on again, 2,600 RPM versus 3,500 RPM, and then they just both run parallel all the way up. It's almost the same line, but with 32 more horsepower we gained. Now the gain from E85 was only 12 horsepower over the 93. So, but total gain was 32 horsepower. That peaked right around the 7,500 RPM mark, which is right next to that line. That's kind of where it just kind of quit. So we went on and run this on another dyno. We went to Strictly Performance and ran the same test because I was actually comparing dynos. And we got, on the third test, pretty much overlaid exactly the same max power, 448.51 versus a 449. We did go out to 7,800 RPMs on that last pull. Looks like all three of them, they ran up. But what we did notice on the DynoJet, it did capture more torque. Now, I don't know why they're different. We got 390 torque on that last pull. It's rated at 380 torque, I think, on the crank of the motor. So to see that at rear wheel, that translates to, I think it's around 459 foot-pounds of torque. If you do the math, divide by 0.85, that'll give you your total, because that 0.85 represents your total when you take off to 15% parasitic drag. And the guys at Strictly Performance confirmed that every car they ran where the rating was, they were exactly at 85% net on the dyno. So they were pretty confident that those numbers are absolutely correct.
And that's where we should be today. We should actually be at 460 on E85. That was my number we were going after before I got the rude awakening of losing this horsepower on this caliber. But I suspect we gained more rear wheel horsepower, shorter drive shaft, and the lighter wheels that we have. So we should be seeing something in the low 460s where we sit today on E85. And I'm gonna guess somewhere around the high 440s on the 93 tune. So hopefully we'll get some coverage on this build since a garage is doing it, I'm not doing it, and you know, we'll try and get as best coverage as we can. But more importantly is once it's done, this car is going to be a completely different car. It's going to be an all-box build, and that's what we're going after for the short term. An all-box build. That's where we're going to remain next year while we hit these activities. So, guys, thanks again, man. Thanks everyone for your support. Thanks for your patience on this build, and wish me luck. And you know, stay tuned. You got questions about things, hit me up. And yeah, that's about it, man. You guys take care. Have a great day.